Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be talking about some PlayStation 6 leaks, some brand new specs, and some kind of fun things to go talk about for the future of the next generation of consoles. Now, as you guys know, I've been on my break, but sometimes next generation stuff does go and kind of bode well for fun things I get to yap about. So let's go talk about some PlayStation 6, the next iteration of Xbox, if it even happens at this point, because as you guys may or may not have had a chance to see, Xbox did go and release some of their third-party branded handhelds, and they were a little bit more expensive than we thought. Around $1,000, and I believe around $800 or so. But granted, it makes sense. But either way, the whole premise of that is the market is working towards the future. They're developing products. They're working on consoles. They're trying to make things better. So let's go talk about what might be better for the PlayStation 6, the Xbox 720. We've been waiting for that one for like 15 years. And we can go from there. But let's go and talk about it. Subscribe if you guys are new. Thank you so much for being patient on the break. We are going to be getting off of that soon. And we're just chilling. So hi, hello. So we've seen a lot of articles and things floating around over here when it comes to the next generation of consoles. Say the PlayStation 6 performance estimates now should be at least double the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is already a pretty big jump as is, with around at least an RTX 4090, which is better than my current GPU, or even faster performance. Now, granted, this is years away still, fun speculation video, but we do know these things are being worked on. Sony's next generation PlayStation 6 console should be twice as fast as the PlayStation 5 Pro and should have performance that will equal or beat the RTX 4090. Now, currently we're still in the 5000 series, so it's not the best, but the 4090 is on the upper echelon of the 4000 series, as well will most likely probably be by at least the 6000 series, or mostly into the 6000 series because the 5000 series just came out. Seems like it's around like a 2-year cycle for GPUs. And as well, don't forget, we also have been seeing NVIDIA focus a lot more on AI hosters, that they basically are trying to poke a lot of their money into AI integration, like these, imagine huge GPUs that are like $4,000 or $5,000 each. No, actually not even those. I think it's like $50,000 each, like expensive, like hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on which generation, not 4,000, sorry, my bad. And they're expensive, but that's where they're making a lot of money. Selling these products to Facebook, to different hosters, different say Ocean Weave or things like ChatGPT. So anyway, AI is going to be a big deal. And AI itself is also being very heavily implemented by AMD, and as well as also being very implemented by PlayStation already with their ray tracing implementation, and as well as also the PSSR. So AI is going to be a big deal on this stuff, and I'm just going to use the NVIDIA as an example that AI is a big deal nonetheless. But right now, the high level, Sony's upcoming PlayStation 6 powered by AMD's next generation Zen 5 CPU and UDNA GPU architecture promises performance twice as fast as the PS5 Pro, enabling 4K 120 FPS and 8K 60 FPS gaming with advanced ray tracing and AI, and aims to be the most powerful console by 2027. So 2 years out, makes sense. I'm into this. Sony's next generation PlayStation 6 console should be twice as fast as the beefed up PS5 Pro, and should have performance close to, or if not, like the RTX 4090, which is, I have a 3080 Ti. So it's even better than my current one, and my PC is still beefy. It's getting a little outdated slowly, but it's still doing pretty good. But nonetheless, big and tough. Tom from Moore's Law is dead talked about the new PS6 performance estimates in the latest video. We're going to kind of get my own time on it too as well, using this as a springboard, where he was asked a question from someone about the performance of the PS6 and where he thinks it'll end up. Lines up with everything we've heard on the rumors so far. There's been a lot of rumors, as well with AMD deploying its new UDNA GPU architecture that's going to power the PS6, as well as also, I believe, the next generation Xbox. Don't forget, though, AMD does actually have a specific deal with PlayStation. They are currently working with the PS5 Pro to utilize specific, kind of AI implementation, whether it's the PSSR or just frame improvements. We don't fully know exactly what. It's proprietary technology, obviously, but they're working with drivers, working with AI software, working with actually building these specific subsection GPUs for PlayStation. So all of this technology, and I talked about this a lot when the PS5 Pro first came out, this will be utilized. AI is the idea of the knowledge that you have. And right now, PlayStation, we should make a video on this separately. The PlayStation's knowledge it's building with all these games right now, like Monster Hunter, with Death Stranding, with Call of Duty, all these normal PlayStation first-party studio games. This will all be put into a massive funnel of knowledge for AI, and then that could utilize for, upscaling, frame generation, animation generation, filling in the blanks, rendering, whatever it might be. Xbox is utilizing AI though, so it's not fully gonzo, but in their consoles, not so much. But in terms of general Microsoft performance PC stuff, they are. But anyway, so this is a huge performance. They want to be going and expecting at least a 4K 120 FPS, beautiful, or even 8K 60, beautiful on the PlayStation 6 for like layman's terms. With 8K 60 FPS gaming being made possible through the PSSR upscaling technology, which as we mentioned too, has already been being developed. They're working on it, and every single month, every single day that they get more information, new games coming out, etc., means they will have a better performance because the AI has more information to optimize and upscale stuff more efficiently. And then the much more powerful UDNA architecture from AMD, which I do believe this is also coming to Xbox. We'll cover that in like a minute. But yeah, it's good stuff. So new PlayStation 6 is rumored to be 20% faster in rasterization and at least 2 times as faster and more efficient than in ray tracing and AI, at least from all these rumors from leaker Kepler L2 just from last month. Grand Theft Auto 6 arrives in 2026. Will showcase the power inside of Sony's beefed up PS5 Pro console and AI PSSR. But if Sony can drop the next-gen PS6 in 2027, the most powerful console ever made to run the biggest game of all time at 4K 120. Now, I think that'd be kind of smart, and although smart for the business, scummy for us, the consumer, because they can be like kind of what they've done before. Here's the PS3 GTA 5. 2 years later, here's the PS4 version. Buy this, it's better. Yeah, they'll release it, on PC, and they'll release it on the PlayStation 6, and we're going to buy the game 3 times again because they're just schemers out, that's what it is. But anyway, we've seen a little bit more information, too, on the fact that AMD's next-gen UDNA GPUs for the new Radeon, PlayStation 6, and Xbox are all going to be 20% faster. Now, this was about like a month ago or so, but kind of just combining the information on it. So this is confirmed that we do believe the next Xbox and PlayStation will be utilizing ray tracing more efficiently, better AI, which makes sense, and of course there's going to be an overall better console. With the high level saying AMD's next-gen UDNA GPU architecture promises around 20% overall performance gains and up to 2x improvements in ray tracing and AI, as we kind of covered before, in both these consoles, and now including the Xbox as well. They want to have better visuals. They want to have better AI, better like computing for it, so it can take the load off of your CPUs, etc., because it's using the software from the AI. So AMD's next generation UDNA architecture has had some new leaks teasing performance from next-gen Radeon graphics cards and PlayStation 6 and next-gen Xbox, and it sounds fantastic. Saying never doubted Mark Cerny. He still believes in the traditional dedicated console. I would hope so. Xbox will be sketchy. They will most likely make probably one more Xbox, and then hardware, and then PC, and then I'm guessing it's probably done so, if we gotta be honest. PS6 will double, triple, quadruple down on AI upscaling and ray tracing, which, from how well it's ran on the PS5, I think this is a good thing. You already hinted at this all during the PS5 Pro tech, and as I mentioned, as they have more PS5 Pro information, they will make more, just probably make more money because they can sell the AI idea, and that's gonna be the next big improvement because we've already seen big jumps in GPU and CPU computing power, and to make it cheap is the biggest deal. And if you can kind of save cost on that from hardware cost and put that more towards AI, I know some people might be skeptical on AI, but I think for hardware and software, it's fine. As gamers, we've kind of been somewhat used to like machine learning and AI, and for games, think like bots in games and like NPCs in video games. Like I think we're mostly used to machine learning. I don't think AI is the worst. I don't like AI in the creative end. That's my stance. I wouldn't want them to use AI to take away from stories or assets or animations. I wouldn't mind it for making the games run nicer, optimize better ray tracing, like stuff like that. I approve of AI. I have a lot of AI stocks investments already, so I understand the future of AI, but I just don't really like it on the creative end. I do think that can be very lackluster, and no new ideas means the world stagnates. I don't like that. But either way, we are seeing that there's big numbers expecting at least a 20% in performance just off the GPU itself, and also performance uplift too as well. So imagine like the peak is higher, but then to get to that peak, it's a lot easier. Like imagine like you can run a 7-minute mile as a sprint. That's great on a PS5. Let's go and say you can run a 7-minute mile, but you can do it for 10 miles straight because you're more efficient. You've worked out more. Your body is more inclined. So you can maintain that for every game rather than just like your peak maybe for like say like a rendered cutscene, stuff like that. That's when the world really starts to shine. Or things like say GTA 6, where like you have to have this huge world encoded. You can maybe make it look beautiful on a small, like say a God of War, like a straight pathway. at like say a beautiful 8K, that's fine on a PS5. But this PS6 on better GPU and more optimization would mean the entire world then would be at that same level, so you have a bigger, more wider environment. So it's cool. So we don't necessarily know much more on the details, but either way, it looks like the Xbox and PlayStation 6 are going to have huge, better roots, and like it's way more AI. We're going to find more information over time, but it's kind of a fun little video to talk about it. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all for chilling. Subscribe if you guys are new. Leave a like, your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys soon.